So we have all been there, seeing something on social media that looks amazing in someone else's home, buying it, bring it in only to realize that it just doesn't work in our space. I have done that as well many times before. It is frustrating, and worse, it's a waste of money. Trends can be really exciting to follow, and I get why so many people love keeping up with trends. Well, it's fun, but jumping on every trend can make our space feel less personal, which is not ideal. But on the other hand, a little bit of trend influence is actually great and is needed because it keeps our home fresh and relevant. Otherwise, we would all be living in spaces that look like our grandparents. That is probably not the vibe that you're going for. But knowing trends is pointless if they do not fit your space or your style. Some genius some years ago said, trends come and go, but your personal style, that sticks. So use trends responsibly. Gamble responsibly. That was actually very funny. Use trends only to improve your personal style. Now, the tricky part is knowing which trends to take on and which to skip. For years, everybody was stuck with all white spaces. Most designers avoided patterns and treated moody colors like they had COVID, like they were off limits. And well, after seeing white and beige everywhere, even people who were not into that look kind of had no choice but to go along. Talk about a missed opportunity. But now there is a room for all kinds of taste, and we have got the chance to create a home for ourselves that really feels like us and is trendy at the same time. Like, we don't really have to force things in or try to look like someone else to have a stylish home. So ditching that all white house, bare walls look already puts you a step ahead in making your space feel more personal and on trend. So first things first, add your personal touch. We have got plenty of ways to do it, like patterns. They are huge right now, and don't be afraid of colors. Wallpaper has not been very common in the last decade. Even in high-end homes, we have not seen them much because minimalism, especially all-white interiors, was the trend for a long time. Now, designs are bold and expressive. So wallpaper is expected to be a big trend in 2025. So if you're thinking about updating your space, wallpaper could be the way to go. It is such an easy way to add personality without a ton of effort. There are so many patterns out there for everyone, so surely you can find something that suits your taste. Just pick one from within your color palette, something that you really enjoy looking at daily, and something that excites you. It should not be too expensive unless you use it in every room, on every wall of your house. Look how people are getting bold with patterns from nature, stripes, and geometric designs, like in this photo where floral and checkerboard prints sit side by side. One feels old school and the other is super modern, and together the mix just works. Florals in particular mimic the organic shapes and symmetry that we naturally find calming. That is why they work really well in bedrooms, living rooms, and even offices. They create such a sense of balance and relaxation. So if you're into classic or romantic prints, good news is florals are back. You don't have to go all in with a full room transformation. Like, if you are not ready to commit to a full wall, there are plenty of creative ways to use wallpaper in small doses, like a slim strip along the top of a wall, inside a bookshelf, or even around the fireplace. Some of the examples here in these pictures might technically be tiles, but who cares? The ideas are still great. And the goal is to add interest, and you might find one of those approaches more doable than covering an entire wall. We can get really creative with wallpaper, using it in unexpected places like kitchens. Some people are even taking it to the ceiling, which is adventurous, but an easy way to sort of test out a pattern without feeling too overwhelmed, because patterns can actually be overwhelming. And since ceilings are often forgotten, wallpaper I think can look super attractive. For something more subtle, soft prints like stripes or faux wood textures can really pull a room together. It is also a budget-friendly option because it is used only in a smaller area. Oh my god, this is in my... I introduce you to my new microphone. It's so annoying and it's so in my way and I cannot move my hand freely. But hopefully my sound quality is great and I don't have to waste 3 hours of my precious time taking this very annoying buzz out of my videos. Where was I? Which picture? Oh, and one more thing. Even though some people might not love the idea of using peel and stick wallpaper, I think it is actually a very solid choice if you are not ready to commit long term. Like if you are renting, this is the best option that you have. After all, it is 2025 and we do not care about what other people think. To keep things stylish but sort of understated, you can use quieter patterns like this neutral flame stitch here that adds just enough pattern without it being too bold. If bold or busy look that wallpaper can create is not your thing, that is okay. You can still keep it subtle with textured options like grass cloth or linen for a more natural and relaxed look. I'm not gonna say don't go with any wallpaper at all. I'm just saying that keep it quiet and maybe use texture rather than patterns there. If patterns or even textures are not your thing, paneled walls are a great way to create a stylish home because they are trendy now. Wood paneling was huge in the 70s and now they are back with a more modern twist. In the past few months leading to 2025, we have been seeing a lot of natural wood tones, fluted panels and slatted wall designs, and I think wood paneling is a solid option because wood naturally brings that warmth and texture into your space and instantly add depth to your room. So it makes a very homey and personal environment, and since wood is a natural material, it has a timeless quality that won't feel outdated, I don't think, anytime. Now, if you really want to take it up a notch, try pairing it with wallpaper or layering it with framed art and curtains, and that is how you get a trendy but effortlessly chic home. That said, I get why some people might still be hesitant because darker wall treatments can make your room feel a bit heavier and smaller. So if you love this trend but are sort of worried about that part, good lighting can make all the difference. If you are not into moody colors or dark aesthetic in general, that is totally fine. Not everybody has to follow trends. Wallpaper and wall panels aren't for everyone. If you prefer a simpler look but still want to move away from that plain white walls, I suggest textured plaster. Like here, by just using paint, they have created texture. If you look, spaces are becoming more tactile. They are becoming more textural because we want our homes to feel as real as us, right? Have you ever noticed how our design style kind of follows social trends? Like people are now more laid back, focusing on mental health and just going for comfort. So it sort of makes sense that we are now accepting our imperfections too. And what I found very interesting about it is just everything sort of fits together. Like look at what designers are doing now. They are using natural materials like wood because it has imperfections, or handmade art and crafts because they are imperfect. They are different from mass-produced items. They're using organic patterns because nature itself is full of imperfection. So I think we are drawn to these imperfect designs because as humans, we are very complex. So moving away from that overly polished, try-hard look is such a win for us. Now we can actually have fun with our decor and stop stressing about making everything perfect. By now, you have probably noticed that the trending colors of this year are on the moodier side. We are seeing a lot of different warm colors and playful patterns around, but generally warm browns are becoming a dominant color in home palettes, which is fantastic. Brown, we all love them. Why? Because brown brings elegance and effortlessly chic feel, and let me tell you about when you layer it with tonal colors. You can easily balance the saturated shades with softer, earthy tones or add a pop of metallic here and there. And I think combining these bold hues with natural textures and neutral bases creates a complementary and sort of harmonious effect. Expect to see a lot of hues like brown, maroon, navy, and olive green this year. If they are part of your palette, bring them into your space. They are so beautiful and they add so much character to your space. But if you are not that cool, that's fine, no worries. I'm joking. If one doesn't suit, you just need to move on to the next one that suits you better. Spaces today are very tactile and textural, and patterns play a big part in this shift. As I mentioned in one of my videos a while back, yes, I could see the future. Maximalism has been gaining momentum and we are moving towards more layered spaces. So if you have noticed, it's been a couple of years now that designers have started shifting away from the minimalist look and homes filled with mass-produced products. We are craving more personality and eclectic design in our homes because it makes it more personal. So now at the start of 2025, the stage is finally set for textured, character-filled decor that looks chic without having to spend a lot of money. One thing that really annoys me, I just remembered, is how every time that I talk to people about like new trends, they automatically think I need to spend money and get new things, and especially new furniture. It's funny, but furniture is the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about changing decor. There are so many things in your home that can add interest to your space without having you to spend a lot of money. You can easily bring trends in with framed art, books on the table, accessories, curtains, rocks. Furniture doesn't have to be the first thing that you change in your house. But if it is something that you really want to swap out, you're in luck because vintage furniture is totally on trend right now, which is perfect because you can easily find vintage wood furniture in secondhand shops and bring a little bit of natural wood in and create a stylish decor without having to commit to dark walls. 1 or 2 pieces of furniture in dark brown, natural wood tones, or warm earthy shades like brown will do. What I love about this design is that they have clearly used the colors they personally like. Seems like that they didn't care about trends and combined an old style cabinet with modern chairs. This look is very easy to recreate and it doesn't have to look exactly the same, but the trend of vintage furniture is perfect. Take advantage of it. As I mentioned before, vintage isn't just limited to furniture. For example, in this photo, they have used vintage style framed art. So it doesn't matter if it is original or not, though if it is original, it's even better because it adds a sort of personal touch to your story. I got a few paintings passed down from my partner's grandmother and I am never parting with them. No matter if vintage is trendy or not, they mean something to us. Like, we love them so much and they are going to be with us for the rest of our lives. So this is a great time to mix these pieces into your decor if you have any. Even if your decor is mostly contemporary, it doesn't matter. Vintage pieces don't always need that emotional connection. Sometimes it is okay to just bring in something fun and let it tell its own story. Don't worry if a piece doesn't connect with you on that deep level. Look at it this way, like, it makes it easier to let it go when it is no longer on trend. We all need some pieces that we will hold on to for a long time, but it's also healthy to swap out things for something fresh in a few years. So if you have old furniture pieces, as long as they are not torn or rotten, there is no need to throw them away. I actually made a video a while ago, I don't know, 2 years ago, about the time that we really need to let go of our sofa. Check out that one if you are not sure whether you want to keep your sofa or not. You can always mix old pieces with new ones to create a fresh sort of look that when others see it, they will also notice that personal touch as well. By the way, statement seating is a trend right now, meaning that mismatched pieces of furniture can make a big impact. So putting vintage items next to modern elements create a balanced and eclectic vibe. Mixing different styles and eras allows you to have fun with your room, with the space that you have, and make it feel full of character. The bonus is that your home will feel lived in, warm, and very unique to you. If you want to create a more luxurious interior, I think the Art Deco inspired trend gives us that perfect edge. Art Deco is known for its elegance, which comes from a bold mix of materials, fabrics, and also exceptional craftsmanship. Contemporary Art Deco is sophisticated, but without feeling overly complicated. As I mentioned in my last video, glossy finishes are making a comeback in 2025. Like we have seen them on the wall paints, furniture, or decor pieces. Anywhere you use them, these shiny surfaces are definitely on trend and can add that extra touch of luxury to your room. For example, adding a glossy finished piece of decor to your existing mix can create that contemporary look. A small side table in dark color with a glossy finish sitting alongside vintage and modern pieces can be both cool and beautiful. This also applies to crystals and metallic finishes. Like, designers are bringing elements of Art Deco into their designs. For instance, here the beautiful motifs in the rug and gorgeous lightings are complemented with those stools and round side tables. So while the design is inspired by an old design style, the overall look feels fresh and contemporary. Luxurious fabrics like velvet were big during Art Deco era, and they are coming back, and especially in browns and passionate reds. The decor here feels both comfortable and luxurious to me. Like, the red velvet sofa doesn't look new, and the chair is mid-century modern. The side cabinet might be vintage, but the addition of metals and crystals here and a sort of warm brown color palette brings everything together beautifully. The room's composition feels very balanced, with one wall painted while the other remains white. The molding also adds to the overall beauty of the room. Look, embellishments are back. Although I generally prefer a cleaner look, I'm getting more excited and interested in the variety of styles that they bring. And aside from trims or moldings that you might want to add to your walls or ceilings, like if you own your place or you are willing to invest in a long-term classic look, but otherwise you can use embroidered cushions, throws, or even curtains to add texture and interest in your space. Tasseled throws, modern fringe lampshades, and contemporary design cushions are all super cool right now. Just don't get carried away. Less is more. Mixing these embellishments with simpler pieces will keep your space from feeling too busy, which is perfect for people who don't like or don't have that much of appreciation for maximalism. Back to this beautiful room. The furniture is eclectic. Like, not everything is all from one set, but they have created this cohesive look using almost all of this year's trends. The rug is also very attractive, both because of its pattern and its tactile feel. I think it's a clever choice. Rugs are perfect for adding depth to any room, any space. Plus, by bringing other elements in your home, you can create a layered look, which is also very trendy at the moment. If you have been keeping up with designers' work and checking out trends, you have probably noticed we used to leave our floors bare, like not much rugs around, but now rugs are coming back in most homes, kind of like back in the 80s. The rugs available these days are incredible. There are so many beautiful options that anyone can find something that suits their taste. From geometric to floral, abstract, and oriental designs, there is a wide variety to choose from. In 2025, we are seeing a shift from minimalism to maximalism, which sort of allows for personal expression through dramatic patterns, textures, and colors. I know that when we talk about maximalism, most people immediately think of wallpapers, and yes, they are a fantastic way to bring in all sorts of shades, patterns, and colors. But wallpaper is just one option for creating a vibrant and dynamic space. For example, you can bring in zigzags and geometric patterns that are inspired by Art Deco through upholstery or rugs. This adds a lot of visual interest to your room without needing to touch the walls. And let's not forget about curtains. They have always been a huge player in maximalist design, with bold and large patterns being, I think, audaciously brought into homes. Fabrics are probably the easiest and most accessible way to add variety and texture into your home. Velvet in all forms, from cotton, linen, and cut velvet with patterns, has become trendy as well, and they are replacing the soft boucle fabrics of the previous years in high-end designer spaces. Now, with the maximalist trend growing stronger over the last couple of years, patterned velvets have really taken off in designer homes. I am a fan of these sofas and chairs. They are beautifully paired with other colors and patterns to create rich and luxurious interiors. But this look isn't a cheap one. Like, velvet is an expensive fabric in general, and when they are paired with new designs like these that you can see in this photo, they even get pricier. Personally, I wouldn't go for this look unless I was sure I could commit to it in a long term. People are really having fun with patterns these days. I absolutely love this bedroom here. Even though it is rich in patterns and colors, it doesn't feel overwhelming. Like, it's professionally and masterfully done that I just want to pause and take it all in. The floral and striped patterns, so beautiful. The warm oranges, whites, and the natural wood side table. It all just flows. This curtain here is a clear sign that drapery is back, baby. Drapery is back. The curtains in this room add softness and texture and effortless elegance that ties everything together. Details like subtle embroidery, even scalloped or fringed edges are totally on trend right now. They add a decorative touch to any space. What I like about modern curtains in 2025 is that they are less heavy and less structured than before. Like, the new version is more relaxed. Like, they're using flowing fabrics that bring warmth into a space without it feeling too formal. Mixing these more casual styles with some of the traditional ones makes for a really interesting combination. If you like to create a sort of dimensional look, layering your curtains is such a stylish and functional choice. If you use both sheer fabrics with thicker drapes, they give the room that extra depth while also being very practical. For that luxury feel, check out how oversized floor-to-ceiling drapes really elevate this room. And if you are going for a more polished look, tailored pleated styles are the way to go, I think, which will give you a refined finish without feeling too rigid or stiff. What I'm really trying to say is that don't treat curtains as an afterthought. Be intentional with them. Go for tactile fabrics, play with patterns, and make them part of your overall design to give your space a more personal touch. Another way to jump on the trend train is moving away from simple single light fixtures and go for eye-catching bold fixtures in the form of sconces, chandeliers, and floor lamps. These sculptural lamps really stand out and they look amazing. Having a bold lighting piece, even in a small room, is such a cool way to add drama. And we all love a bit of drama. So if you are into this trend, go for it. Otherwise, never commit to something just because it is trendy. Trends like these are not for everyone. Trends come and go, and the last thing that you want is to be stuck with a piece that feels out of place or outdated in a couple of years. And even spending $20 on something that doesn't fit your style feels like a waste to me. You can easily swap out purely functional lighting for fixtures that add style and reflect your very unique personality without breaking the bank. or going overboard with big and bold shapes. If you prefer a relaxed vibe, go for a simple, beautiful rattan piece like this one, because they have that zen-like weave design, which makes them trendy, but not to the point where you need to toss them out in a year or two when they fall out of style. They never go out of style, but they go out of trend, really. Anyways, depending on your personal taste, you can go for something playful like this one, or choose a crystal fixture, which is becoming more popular as Art Deco influences make a comeback this year. I personally like to go for a traditional fixture, like something similar to this one, and they are very trendy. I was gonna say pretty and trendy. It's trendy. You can pair it with modern furniture that you have, or maybe go for more uniquely shaped pieces if that's what you like. Again, that's not something that everybody would appreciate and like. Anyways, there are so many options out there depending on the vibe that you are going for. I don't know, you can still find lighting that is interesting and elegant. Also, remember those stunning designer homes you see are often much larger than the average house or apartment. What works in a spacious and open room in most cases look totally out of place and ridiculous in a smaller one. It is actually so refreshing to see people moving away from rigid design styles and embracing a mix of influences. Because at the end of the day, our homes are extensions of ourselves. So it makes sense that they should feel layered and unique just like us. Rather than thinking about having the perfect room, our aim should be making the space work for us and telling our story, because that is what makes a home feel personal. And trends are only there to inspire us and help us improve the look of our homes. And the best way to get inspired is to look at real examples like the ones that I'm showing here on the channel. Both the successes and the mistakes. When you see these examples, you can figure out which trend actually works for you and what does not. We obviously cannot follow every trend, and that is not the goal. I made this video just to give you a starting point, to inspire you to try new combinations. It doesn't matter how amazing a trend looks in someone else's home. If it doesn't feel right for you, just let it go. Don't stick to something that does not truly resonate with your style. I have talked about creating a personal space in this video. It's worth watching. In my next video, I will be talking about how to create a chic decor using 2025 color trends, so stay tuned for that. And meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe and like this video so it hopefully reaches more people. Let me know what you think of this video and what you have found helpful or not. See you next time. Bye.